Welcome back to the channel. Today I have Miss Mackenzie. She is officially a part of the 1% that have completed a marathon. So Miss Mackenzie, please introduce yourself.
My name is Mackenzie. I am a mother of two little rebellious children. And I ran a lot when I was younger, and then COVID hit. And so I started running again, and my friend Stacy got me hooked up with Allie, and I love it.
Yes, awesome. So obviously this past weekend, you just ran your first marathon. So tell us all about that experience.
It was a wild ride. I loved it. I definitely will do another one, just not for a while yet. And when I do, I'm getting you to run it with me. It was thrilling being able to push and overcome all of the many obstacles that we've had. But I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, well, and I mean, let's talk about the fact that when we were doing this, we were running as a group, and it was established that as the coach, I was going to run with the slowest person. So I think really all of us in the back of our mind really thought that I would be running with you. No offense to that, but just based on the paces, that's kind of where we thought we were. So what was it like to kind of be running with me in the beginning, and then at some point me saying like, no, Mackenzie, like you need to go ahead. You're running faster than me and this other girl are. Go ahead. What were kind of some of those thoughts of like, oh my gosh, I'm not running this with my coach?
I got a little terrified. I don't think it really set in until mile 20-ish, 21. That's kind of when I thought of like, oh crap, maybe I should slow down and let them catch back up to me. Oh, no. But I'm doing this in my daughter's room, by the way.
That's fine. We love kids.
You say hi. She'll be YouTube famous. Just running into some self-doubt, being able to, kind of really push my body. And I mean, that's where I think I could have used you, but it was, pretty exciting when you're like, no, go on ahead. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, running with someone and having someone there motivating you the entire time, that's one thing. But you did this from mile like 8, 9, all the way to the finish line, all by yourself. Like you were the one pushing yourself forward. You were the one getting yourself to the finish line. And I think that's really powerful.
Yes. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't easy. I think I felt better when I was running with you just because, I kind of had you as a pacer, where I think when I started running by myself, I'd speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, and speed up, slow down. And I think having your wisdom with me to kind of like help pace me, okay, let's do this, or oh, if your knee's getting sore, let's try this stretch. I think if I'd have had that, I think I probably would have finished stronger. But nonetheless, I finished.
You finished, dude. I am so proud of you, seriously, because another thing is that you didn't have a perfect training season, right?
No.
There were a lot of things that didn't go the way that we planned. So kind of talk to me about what the training was like and what happened through that.
Well, so we were going to start training, and then we got COVID. And then I got COVID. My daughter got COVID. My son got COVID. And then my husband was the last one who got COVID. And then, so that pretty much took up all of November, which we should have been training. And then let's see here, we all had the flu. My daughter's had reoccurring ear issues since September 22nd. And so we've been battling, like I said, COVID, flu, ear infections. we had a second round of the flu, like when I was supposed to be doing like miles 16. And so that was quite challenging. And oh God. And then, like I said, the ears, and then she had ear tubes. I should have been knocked down many times. So that's what makes this so, exciting that I was able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. What was affected during that time? What runs did you miss? Where was the self-doubt in that? Like, oh my gosh, I've missed so many runs. Can I still do this? Talk about that.
I think the self-doubt kicked in with COVID right from the get-go, because I was already kind of on the fence, and then we got COVID, and then I looked at my times that I was running, and I'm like, oh dear God, I'm not going to be able to finish this, let alone in the time frame that I should be. And I kind of, got in my head more than what I should have, which typically isn't like me. And I just got scared. And then that's when you and I had our heart-to-heart talk. And it helped, but I think it helped knowing that no matter what, I was anticipating being the slow person. So no matter what, I knew I was going to be with somebody. And I think having that, knowing that I'm with somebody, really kind of helped to calm the nerves a little bit, because no matter what, we weren't going to do it by ourselves. We had our little group, and I did do it by myself, but yeah, it was the last 3 long runs were hard. Disclaimer, I was doing this all on a treadmill, which definitely, posed its own challenges. But, when you get the flu and all this stuff, it really takes a lot out of you. And, those long runs, there was walking involved, sick kids. It just was hard. Watches die. How far did I go? Did I do it? I did it, but I'm not proud of how I did. So every notch past mile 18 I got on that marathon, it's like it got harder and harder and harder, but it's like it's 1 more mile further than what I've gone. It's 1 more mile. It's 2 more miles. Now it's 3 more miles. And by the time I finished and I looked at my watch, I'm like, damn, that's like 8 more miles than I've ever went.
Yeah. But I think the thing is originally in the training plan, we were going to have you do the 20 miles as your longest. And I think it kind of took that reframing, like, Mackenzie, as long as I can get you to 18 miles, I know mentally you will be able to cross the finish line. What did you feel about that? Did you feel like, oh my gosh, is that long enough? Did that scare you?
I was scared. Was it long enough? Knowing myself for another one, I would probably want to try to go at least 20 or 22 for my longest run, and then taper off just to kind of close that gap up a little bit. It was good. I think where I started having trouble with is, like I said, I did this all on a treadmill, so I had to give. So by the time I hit those, I felt great up through the half, and then it slowly started to creep up on me. And then it's like, okay, this started to hurt, or this started to get sore. And then when you'd slow down for an aid station, it got harder to get back going. But like I had you messaging me, your husband was there with your mom, like I had my cheerleaders, and then my girlfriend who's ran Boston was messaging me because she was tracking me on my Garmin. My husband was messaging me, my aunt. So it was just really exciting having all those people like watching me from mile 20 to mile 26, like, okay, you got this. And when I crossed that finish line, my girlfriend who ran Boston texted me, and she goes, "You're an effing marathoner. You did it."
Yes, I love it. It really does take a village to run a marathon, right? Running is a solo sport, right? Like, I can write the training plan for you, but I cannot run the race for you. And it does take that support and that tenacity to get to the finish line. So I think you did amazing. And I think it goes to show, and I think that's why your story is so important to tell, is that you do not need to have a perfect training to have a great race. And I think you really proved that for moms all over the world.
I try.
So what would you say to anybody out there that is having issues with their training plan, that they're falling behind, they're missing runs, or they've got kids? What would you say to someone training for a marathon right now?
Oh dear God, don't miss. Even if it's the most horriblest run, just do it. You're gonna feel so much better when you're done. I promise. Running when you don't feel good sucks. It really sucks. But you feel better about yourself when it's done. If you got to walk, because when you run a marathon, you're gonna see the elites are gonna run it in crazy times, and then you're gonna see everyday people like us that are running it that are gonna take walking breaks. It's okay. Just go out there and do your best, and know that whatever you did it to your full potential, and then you can't be upset with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, Mackenzie. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I know these last couple months have been a complete wild ride. I'm so glad that I was able to be there and support you through it. And even though I wasn't able to run with you to the finish line on race day, I was absolutely with you there in spirit and cheering you on from about 15 minutes behind you. So,
Yeah.
Mackenzie, I'm super excited to see what you have coming up in the future. Any other closing remarks that you would like to tell anybody maybe that is scared to sign up for their first marathon?
You just got to do it, and you got to get a coach that believes in you, and that's, and you got to be able to, want to put in the work. Now, my next marathon will be when I can train outside, because training outside poses a bunch of different obstacles. You have the heat, the humidity, oh dear God, the cold. But definitely my next one I will do that I plan to do in a couple of years is in June. So being able to get outside March, April, May, and June will be huge. And I don't care if I run my cul-de-sac 50 times, I will get my 26.2.
Awesome. Thank you so much for Mackenzie. You guys, that's it for us today. I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.
Bye.